AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal.
Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. I'm literally just back in the studio from Milan. Flew in Stansted Airport, home, and I'm still buzzing. What a brilliant performance by Arsenal away against Inter Milan yesterday. I'll tell you what, that performance was so impressive. 7 games now in the Champions League, unbeaten, home and away. And Inter Milan, a very difficult place to go to. As we found out last year when we played them, they've been doing, well in the Champions League. And I thought yesterday, going away and winning their 3-1, sent out a little statement to the rest of Europe that, listen, this team, Arsenal, are to be taken very, very seriously indeed. And I was chatting to some Inter fans and they were like, best team that's come here and played. And the thing is, we rested a lot of players, remember. There was a lot of players that didn't even start the game, like Gabriel, and Declan Rice, who are our main players. So it was a really, really impressive performance, and yet again showed us the value of our squad that we've put together. There's all right, everybody talking about having a great squad, but it's got to be able to produce. And look at the performance of a player like Mosquera, who came in for £13 million. Nobody really knew who he was. And look at the performances that he's been putting in since he stepped into this club since the summer. Andrea masterclass, absolutely. What a fantastic signing. And Gabriel Jesus, I was so happy for him, happy for Gyökeres as well. He scored a banger as well. But Gabriel Jesus, who I was speaking about on yesterday's show, when he was in a press conference and he was saying that he wants to stay at Arsenal. We know that Palmeiras over there in Brazil would like to bring him back to Brazil. But he says, listen, I want to stay at Arsenal. His contract's up in 2027. And if he can produce regular performances like what he did yesterday, why would you want to get rid of him? 2 good goals, worked his socks off, really is a good player. And reminded me of the Gabriel Jesus that we had when we first brought him into Arsenal before he picked up all of those injuries. And if he keeps putting in performances like that, I'm sure the manager is going to say, well, listen, yeah, let's keep him. Why would we want to get rid of him? But well done to those players last night. Really, really brilliant performance. Ethan Nwaneri was an unused sub in the game, and he's set to be unveiled as a Marseille player today. You could even be watching this video right now, and that announcement's already been made. Mikel Arteta was asked about it after the game, and he said, listen, yes, he is going to be moving to Marseille. He admitted it. He's going there on loan. And these are his quotes. He says, he's probably not playing the minutes he deserves. We have a massive talent there and we need to look after him. So confirmation from Mikel Arteta yesterday that he's on his way. And listen, we did a video on it yesterday and we all said that, me and Lee Judge said that we felt that a loan move for Ethan Nwaneri makes perfect sense. He's not starting at the moment. He's got Eze in front of him. He's got Odegaard in front of him. He's even got, Marino can play there as well. So it makes sense. Go and play. You're 18 years of age. You're going to be playing under Roberto De Zerbi. You're going to be playing for a team in Marseille that are in the Champions League and challenging for the French League. Great atmosphere in that stadium. They're going to be big games you're going to be playing in on a regular basis, and that can only help in his development. And remember, that is exactly where Saliba went and made a name for himself. So hopefully he comes back a much better player. Alexander Zinchenko. Now, this is interesting. Set to join Ajax on loan, but a bit of a U-turn on this one because it looks like the loan move. And remember, he's been on loan at Nottingham Forest. Forest wanted to cut short that loan. Ajax wanted him on loan till the end of the season. Well, now it looks like that's changed and Ajax actually want him on a permanent deal, which would actually be better for Arsenal. He'll be able to go on a permanent deal. Be better for Ajax as well. They don't just want him for now till the end of the season. They want to sign him up on a long-term deal. So details to emerge of that deal, but looking like Zinchenko is still going to go to Ajax, even though his medical has been delayed according to all reports. But that deal now looks like it's going to be a permanent deal rather than a temporary one. Now, what about this next player? There's lots of reports coming out of Germany about Kennet Eichhorn. I hope I pronounced that right. A 16-year-old talent that lots of people are talking about in German football. And there is lots of interest in him from all the top clubs in Germany, including, of course, Bayern Munich, Leipzig, all of those teams interested. He plays for Hertha Berlin in Bundesliga 2. Now, there's reports that Andrea Berta has held talks with his representatives about a possible move to Arsenal. As I said, he's seen as a real top talent in German football. He's a defensive midfielder, but already has played first-team games for Hertha Berlin. He's said to have a £13 million release clause, and there's two clubs in particular that are said to be battling it out for his signature right now, and that is Arsenal and Bayern Munich. Both clubs sound like they're willing to meet the release clause. As I said, seen as a real top prospect. And we know that Arsenal, they're on the lookout for top prospects this transfer window. And Kennet Eichhorn is one of those players they're taking a look at. As I said, release clause of £30 million. And the reports are that both Arsenal and Bayern Munich are heavily in for this player. So one to keep an eye on. Spoke on yesterday's show also about Victor Valdepenas of Real Madrid, another young prospect, can play centre-back or left-back. Now, as I said on yesterday's show, again, Andrea Berta has been speaking to his representatives, and still today, lots of reports from various journalists, I think even Fabrizio Romano's mentioned this one as well, that he's on a list of players that Arsenal are looking at the possible move for this January transfer window. So one to keep an eye on. Again, he's only 19 at Real Madrid, and Arsenal showing a lot of interest in him for this January transfer window. What about Eduardo Camavinga? Great player, absolutely fantastic player, plays in the central midfield for Real Madrid. I was taken aback when I saw his age, still only 22. He did go to Real Madrid when he was really young. And I remember watching him playing at Rennes. And he's a top player. Now, according to Team Talk, they're saying that Arsenal are very interested in signing Eduardo Camavinga. Now, any sale of Eduardo Camavinga will not happen this January transfer window. But Real Madrid will, according to these reports, will be interested in selling him in the summer if the price is right. He's valued at around about £50 million, French international, top player, but not always a regular starter for Real Madrid. And you read conflicting reports on it. Some reports say very important player for the team. Other reports, they'd be willing to sell him if the price is right. And Arsenal are one of those many clubs out there that are taking a look at Camavinga. Andrea Berta admires him, knows him from his time over there in Spanish football. He's got a contract till 2029 now, a long contract. Real Madrid, if they sell him, would want a lot of money for him. But there's lots of reports that, and we've seen some of the problems around Real Madrid with the fans, with the owner and stuff like that. There are reports going around that Real Madrid are going to be willing to sell some of their stars come the summer. And could Eduardo Camavinga be one of those stars that could be on his way out? And could he be coming to Arsenal? I mean, that would be a great signing. Would love to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Camavinga, would you like to see him at Arsenal? Travelling to away games has never been easier, especially with Rocket Mobile.
Unlimited data, unlimited everything in the UK. When you leave the UK, it's 20 gig of roaming data. Life is very easy.
£16 a month, no hassle.
How you doing?
You're doing all right. And this is what you get in Europe.
I know. Corner, Gunners!
Come on, mate. Thank you so much.
Lead you the run.